everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Can I Do It Better with AC Milan. So we've been through the summer transfer window. It's now the 2nd of September. So in this particular episode I'm going to show you a little bit of work that we did in the transfer market just to make the squad as good as we could at this point. And then we're going to play our local rivals Inter Milan in a top of the table Serie A clash. So Inter currently sit 3rd, we currently sit 4th. Early days, only 2 games played. Let's go and have a look at the table and just show you that. So you can see here that 2 games played for most teams, a couple have played 3 now. But we got 2 good wins. I'll show you the results in a second of that. But today we play Inter Milan, obviously, who are going to be there or thereabouts, hopefully with us, in terms of top 4 at least for the whole of this season, and at the end when prizes are handed out. So hopefully today we can start getting some good results against the top sort of 3 or 4 other clubs and see if we can get an advantage over them. So I've also got to show you the Euro draw here. So the Euro draw was quite kind to us, which means that I think we're going to be able to better the scenario that Milan actually got in reality in terms of the 2018-19 season in the Europa League, where they didn't get out of their group stage. So I think we've got a real opportunity here to do that against Rennes, Young Boys and Dynamo Kiev. So I think that's a really good draw. The draw for the Italian Club Cup happens later. So yeah, today we play Inter Milan. Really tough game. It's going to be interesting to see how we cope with it. Before I go and show you the team, let's go and talk about some of the transfer dealings that we did just in the last few weeks of the summer transfer window. So as you see here, Kessie and Paqueta, we talked about last episode that Kessie is already here on loan until his deal becomes permanent next summer, and Paqueta shows up in January, so we've got to wait a little bit for him, but that's okay because we've managed to fill that spot for a few months. So if we go and have a look at our transfer dealings in terms of outgoings, Locatelli had already gone. We then got rid of Antonio Donnarumma and Montelivio, and lots and lots of other players on loan. I don't quite know how Albisola have managed to get so many of our players on loan. I don't understand how that works, but they have. That's fine, whatever. I'm not interested in them really because this is only going to be a 1-season save. We also loaned out Mori just because he wasn't good enough for what I wanted really. He was just he was on par with a couple of other players that we had, but he was no better, and I needed to clear one spot from the squad, so he went out on loan. In terms of incomings, you can see that we did a fair amount of business in the end. These are the bits of business up until Castillo that AC Milan had already done for us before we took over. So the last couple of bits of what we've done, and we brought in Pablo Piatti, and he's going to play in this role, in the midfield left role, in rotation with Bonaventura, who I think is definitely our first choice and really good at what I want him to do. But Piatti comes in. I had to pay a bit for him, unfortunately, at 29. It cost me 20 million, but in 2 sort of 10 million installments. But I think he was worth it because I needed a better replacement on that left hand side. I didn't really have one that I thought was up to standard. So he's come in on 115 grand a week, which is fine. I don't mind. We had the money to spend, so I did. But I think his attributes are all round pretty good and can play down that left wing. So that's a really good incoming transfer, I would suggest. Next one is Marcelo Trotter, who's an Italian striker, 25 years old. I didn't have to pay that much for him. I think he was maybe transfer listed, so I only paid about 3.8 million or something like that. But again, we've got 2 really good strikers, Higuain and Cotrone. So he's not going to play particularly often, Trotter, but I needed a 3rd striker just in case there were injuries, and he was as good as I could find, really. So that's why we brought him in. And I think as a payment of about 3.8 million, I think that was pretty good for what we got. So here's a name you'll all recognise in Phil Foden. So ultimately, we've bought him in till the end of the season on loan from Man City, but Paqueta shows up in January, and so he may take this place in the squad in terms of, you know, what the makeup of our squad is. I'll have to check out how people are playing at that point. But Phil Foden's come in, and we do have the ability to cancel the loan. So if in January I decide that he can go back, then that's fine. But until then, he's a very good backup player in the attacking central midfield line behind Çalhanoğlu, who will play most of the time, I would suggest. So yeah, those are our 3 bits of business that we did since we came in. So, or I did, should I say. And I'm very happy with them. I think that really balances the squad quite nicely. So if we go and have a look at our squad as it currently is, we've got a couple of issues in terms of a couple of people coming back from injury that may be able to make the bench today, but nothing more than that. We've got Castillo, who's going to be out for another couple of weeks yet. And unfortunately, Strinic is unavailable until the 31st of October, which I only discovered recently. He's unable to play due to medical reasons, and that's all I can get. I don't know what his issues are as to whether they were problematic in real terms for him or not. I don't really know what the issue is. So anyway, he's unavailable till the end of October, which is a bit of a blow, because that means that we've got Rodriguez on the left defensive left side, but fortunately Calabria can also play in that spot as well, and we do have a couple of other right backs in terms of Abate and Conte, so we can just about cope with the fact that our fullback isn't there, but it's a bit of a blow nonetheless. But today, in terms of Inter Milan, a tough game. I'm putting out as strong a side as I possibly can. So the side that we're going to put out is Donnarumma in goal, Abate at right back, Rodriguez at left back, Caldara in the centre of defence alongside Romagnoli, Biglia in the deep-lying playmaker role, Kessie in the box-to-box midfield role, Çalhanoğlu as the attacking central midfield player, Suso on the right as the inside forward, Bonaventura on the left as the inverted winger, and Higuain up top as the deep-lying forward. So that's the side for today. In terms of Italian football, it shows how little I've played in Italy before. I didn't realise that you could put pretty much 12 players on the bench every time you play in the Serie A, but that seems to be what we can do. So pretty much everybody else is on the bench, and that gives us many options to change things as the game goes on if need be. So yes, as you can see, we've started well. Finances are in a good spot, so I'm not going to get into any trouble with them, which is perfect. People are already beginning to contribute to the way that we play. A couple of goals from Higuain, which is really important. A couple of injuries to come back, so that will make us at full strength at some point. A really tough game against Inter Milan today, but I'm happy that we're in a good spot and we've got a good squad, and I hope that we can get a good result. Why not? So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So in terms of Inter Milan, they're playing a 4-3-3, a very specific 4-3-3, quite narrow in terms of midfield and attacking options, but they've got some really good players there, a bit of pace about them, so it's going to be tricky. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we match up in terms of where the gaps appear in and around the pitch. But that's quite an interesting formation, I would suggest. I don't normally play that narrow myself, but it'll be interesting to come up against. So in terms of team talk, we're going to have to kind of pull on the fans' heartstrings a little bit here. Let's give not the fans' heartstrings, the players' heartstrings, and talk about the fans, because it's a derby, isn't it? So let's give the fans something to cheer about today. So we're going to do that. Didn't get much of a response, but enough, and then we'll go into the game and see how we get on. So we are obviously playing in the San Siro, which is both teams' home ground, but today it's Inter Milan that are at home. So we're on our away strip of the all-white, which is quite nice. I don't mind that at all. So Inter Milan on the left-hand side for a throw-in, begin to build up from the back, go long, which is kind of not what I expected. But there's the pace of Pavon up top. Perisic and Pavon and the like have got a decent amount of pace between them, and they got an opportunity. Here we go for a corner kick for them. Corner comes in, but Donnarumma comes out and claims quite comfortably, really, and stops the danger. So that's pretty good. But yeah, over the top from Inter Milan. We'll have to watch that a little bit. Maybe they've picked up on a little bit of lack of pace, maybe compared to their attackers in our defensive area. So something to watch out for as the game continues. But 7 minutes gone, and it's been a little bit quiet, really. We've both had a couple of opportunities, but nothing to really shout about. And it's a bit dull, isn't it? Unfortunately, but that's sometimes the way that halves of football go in terms of real terms and in Football Manager. So looks like we're going in at half-time 0-0, which isn't too bad considering in theory with the away side. Couple of bookings, so we'll have to pay attention to that as the game goes on. In terms of the stats of the game, I think it's fairly even, other than the shots at goal where they've had several more than we have. But yeah, it's just, you know, not much to say really, is there? So let's go and see if we can G them up a little bit and get them going. So assertively we'll say I'm going to tell them I'm not happy, just because that will get them fired up and hopefully that will make them figure out some more stuff in the second half. So yeah, the way that I've set my side up, I probably should have told you that before the game, unfortunately I forgot. But we are playing a fairly slow-paced build-up in the vertical tiki-taka through our asymmetric formation, just trying to keep the ball and work it well. And use the skill set that we have in terms of decent passing around the side to build up some play, and then occasionally in the attacking third be a bit more direct and a bit more yeah, running at the defence, etc., a little bit here and there. But that's the way that we play. That's a second yellow card for Kalanoglu. I was too busy talking about what our setup is to really focus too much on the game, and we unfortunately now have a bit of an issue. I'm not going to change much. I'm going to leave the rest of the side as it is. It's just that hole there that we're now missing a player in, but it's as good a hole as any to miss a player if you're going to have to, I guess. So that's really unfortunate though, isn't it? So let's see if we can now really work the ball well and keep it and build up collectively as a team. And the likes of Kessie on the box-to-box role is going to be quite vital to be able to support the play now, I think. Here's Higuain, though, encroaching on the area, down right to Suso, who goes back to Abate. Cross comes in, far post, Bonaventura. There you go. If there's no offside, which I don't think there was, then that was a really great goal. No, there was. It was always a possibility, but let's have a look at it ourselves and see what we can come up with. Here goes the cross. I don't think there was. I think he was in line. Let's get one more replay on it and see where the lines are, but I think we might have done okay there. Let's have a check. So there goes the cross. Yeah, perfectly fine. Brilliant goal. Fabulous. That's what we like to see. No problems at all. And we take a 1-0 lead, and even down to 10 men. Our ability to move the ball well is there for all to see, which is really great. So now all we've got to do is really kind of close up shop a little bit and try and keep them out, which is going to be difficult considering they're already coming at us. But there's a good clearance from Kessie. Unfortunately, De Vries picks up the ball and Asamoah on the left. Pulisic came in on the far post, but it went over the top of the bar, so a bit fortunate there. They got some good possession and good movement of the ball, but we held our shape. Here's Abate with the long throw. Unfortunately, Inter Milan come away with it, having picked up the loose ball in defence. Pavon down the left, crosses it into the centre. We again get it half cleared, back out, and they get to build up again down the left-hand side. Cross comes in again in the near post, but I think we might have got a block, did we? Yeah, I think we did, and that was Ramagnoli, and he managed to block the ball very well and prevent a goal, but it went for a corner that then led to nothing. So I'm going to leave the players on that are playing just because they're playing well, and I don't want to change anything at this point. But Inter Milan come back again. No, we pick up a very loose ball off their throw-in, and it's Kessie again who manages to pick out Rodriguez left on Bonaventura, and he was bundled off the ball just outside the penalty box, but nothing was given. But we again pick up the loose ball in midfield and get to restart an attack, and this time it's down the right with Suso, and Suso goes back to Abate into Biglia, and he now spreads the ball wide to Rodriguez left, and Rodriguez looks to Bonaventura, but a loose ball goes in, and Inter Milan come away with the ball, and there's the pace again, Icardi this time. But a good stop by the goalkeeper and a good clearance by the defender. But they've got a lot of pace up front. They're going quite direct, aren't they? And you can see why. So here they come again. And it's long again into Donnarumma with safe hands, which is great. But they are destroying us over the top, aren't they? Which is a bit of a problem, really. But the highlight continues and we attack down the right-hand side. And there's the end of the game. And I think we were a little bit fortunate. I mean, 50-50 possession is fine, and most of the other stats are fine, but look at these shots on goal that they had, and it was mostly over the top of our defence, and the likes of Icardi and Perisic really charging them down and trying to get shots away. But Donnarumma played very well, 7.4, and that's where I think we managed to succeed in the game. A couple of defensive players played very well and got into the mid-sevens in terms of their rating, so that was really positive. So in the dressing room terms, we're going to have to say, good win, boys, well done. Get them all delighted and happy with that, and come out of the game and see what that's done to the league table. Well, there you go, 3 games played for everybody, and AC Milan sit top. What a great start. The first 2 games I didn't show you, did I, particularly? We didn't talk about them too much, but they were fairly straightforward. Sassuolo was a bit of a scrappy game. Not much happened, really. We got 1 goal from Higuain, and that was it done, and we just held on. But the Parma match, they've just been promoted, I believe, and we dominated them quite comfortably and won 3-0 in the end. Another 1-0 win in the latest game, as we saw just then, from against Inter Milan. So far, no goals conceded in terms of the Serie A games, which is really positive after what was a pretty good pre-season. So I'm more than happy with that. So let's go through the news items. We go top. They're troubled by the defeat. Great, fine, good. That's the roundout for Serie A. Yeah, we're going to issue him a warning for getting a red card, which is all I want to do at this point. He accepts the warning, which is fine. So yeah, that will do it really for today. A really good positive win. Let's go and check out where we're going to get the next episode from. So where are we going to find ourselves? Let's come back for... I'm probably going to play Genoa next, maybe, I think. Yeah, let's do that. We'll come back for Genoa. And we'll have played a Euro game as well by that point, so I'll be able to tell you how that started. But a couple more Serie A games between now and then. We'll come back against Genoa and see where we're at. So that'll do it for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you enjoy this series, if you're enjoying my channel so far, why not subscribe and keep up to date with the videos? If you enjoyed this particular episode, why not click a like on it, so that helps me get seen by other people, which was really what I really want for my channel. I want to grow, so that would be really helpful if you could do that for me. But until next time, if you're playing Football Manager yourself, let me know how your save is going in the comments below. I'm always interested to hear how other people are getting on. But yeah, great to see you. Great to have you with me. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon, and bye for now.